Dear Nama, Ophir, and Moran, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your willingness to share your thoughts in this very hard moment for your families and country with the people of Serbia. First of all, in behalf of our institute and Serbian people, I want to express our condolences for the loved ones that you lost in this war in Israel. Serbian people are in their thoughts together with the friendly Jewish people. Can you tell us something more about the experiences that you had and how this war has impacted you and your families?
My name is Nama. I'm living in a kibbutz. It's a village near Gaza border. It's called Nir Yitzchak. And in the 7th of October, we wake up in the morning. I have 3 kids and my husband. And we run into the shelters. And then they start a very massive attack on our village and the village around. And we were sitting in the shelters many hours, waiting for a rescue. But meantime, the Hamas terrorists get inside the kibbutz and to other kibbutz nearby, a friend's places, and they robbed the houses and they burned the houses and they killed people, our friends, and they murdered and they kidnapped, and they started to shout and shoot outside for many hours. We were sitting there with the kids, and we stopped to connect with the friends around because we didn't know, no one knows what's happened, and the friends didn't write for many hours. And after around 2 days, the army took us from our village, and they bring us to a city called Eilat. And since then, more than 2 months, we are a refugee inside our country. I never came back to my house since that day. I'm a teacher, and many students of mine was murdered, and even worse thing than murdered, for my opinion. And the parents and friends, and inside the Gaza Strip, my friends are still holding as hostage, and we don't know nothing about them. We don't know if they're alive. And every day we hearing news. Just this week we heard that my best friend, who died, and is still kidnapped inside Gaza. And the kids have no schools, and we try to help and support the family, but it's very hard. But inside Israel, there is very good people that helps us, and this is how we are recovering from this.
Thank you very much, Nama. Ophir?
Yeah. So I think it's important to say that this time of the year was also the Jewish holidays, similar to like a Christmas, New Year's time of the year in the rest of the world. And October 7th was actually one of the most important days of the Jewish calendar. I was vacationing, actually, in the Philippines with my girlfriend. Best day ever, I think, was the morning of October 7th. We were 5 hours ahead, woke up on a beautiful beach, and then I received a text from my brother, who is a soldier in the Nachal patrol. serving on the Gaza border near Kerem Shalom. And he told my parents, who were supposed to visit him and provide lunch for the day and meet up, he sent them a message and he said, "Don't come, there's a war going on." I managed to speak with him just a few minutes before, see if he's coming home next weekend to catch up a little bit, because I haven't seen him in a while. And so we start following the news. We learn what's going on, mostly concerned about my cousins who live on a kibbutz right by the border as well. So we've been texting them, learning about family members that were murdered in Kfar Aza, and close friends that were murdered in Kfar Aza as well. At some point, I was called up for duty service, so I had to stop everything I was doing in the Philippines and fly back to Israel. It looked like the world was ending for us that day. And when I boarded my flight from the Philippines, my dad called me to provide me the news about my baby brother who was killed. What happened to them was they were the first force on the border on the morning of October 7th as part of their patrol of the fence. They saw hundreds of terrorists, Hamas terrorists, running towards them with jeeps, with fire, with everything going on, and they were the first to encounter them. They were hit by an RPG, which ended up severely injuring his driver. So it was just him and his commander facing hundreds of terrorists right on the border of Kibbutz Kerem Shalom, which, by the way, ironically in Hebrew means vineyard of peace. No peace was kept there, but their job was to protect the civilians behind them, and that's what they did for 45 minutes. They stood their ground and fought against these terrorists, managing to stop many of them and managing to help the forces behind them gather and regroup, and eventually saving the entire kibbutz and the base. So no female soldier was, killed, raped, or so many other things we heard in other parts of the Gaza Strip, thanks to my brother and his friends. It's obviously terrible, but the weeks and months after that have been just as terrible. We have my cousins who I mentioned who live on the kibbutz, right on the border, who have been refugees in my parents' basement for the last 2 months. We don't know when this is going to end and how, and if they'll be able to return soon. It's just a terrible reality we've been living through in the last 2 months.
Ophir, thank you very much. Your brother was very brave, and
He was.
many civilians that survived that day can be thankful to him and to his efforts. Moran?
Hi. Similar to Naama, I grew up in a kibbutz called Yad Mordechai, 4 kilometers from Gaza border. And now I live far from there with my 2 little kids. And we thought all the years that if we don't tell our kids what's happening, the rockets from Gaza, all the danger, it will be okay. They will be fine. And on the October 7th, we visited my parents, my child grandmother. And 6 morning, we went to the shelters. It was like sorry. A lot of rockets, and we heard also we were lucky in the kibbutz. Soldiers and civilians who protected us prevent the terrorists to get into the kibbutz. My parents, like Naama, 2 months out of their homes, And the reality in my home is like usual, but not. It's affected so many ways. All of us still thinking what was if. What was if the two people who killed the terrorists in the entrance of the kibbutz were not there? What would
happen? Yeah.
Yeah, what would happen? And the reality is not affect only soldiers, only families that live over there. It's affected a lot of innocent people, people who only want to live. That's it.
Moran, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, and then you came here to Belgrade to watch your favorite basketball team, Hapoel Tel Aviv. I congratulate you on the win that you made last night.
Thank you.
You came to Belgrade. I can only guess. Is this your first visit to Belgrade or not? But what do you think about Belgrade, about the Serbian people, about the feeling that they are sharing with you? Do you feel welcome here in our city? And
First of all, as I said before, in Israel there is very good people that help us to recover and bring a bit normally to our life. And Hapoel Tel Aviv and Ofer and I, who is the owners, they help us to build a new community, and by they bring us here, we feel very united, and it's very, very important. About the Serbian people, since I came here, I feel a bit at home. I mean, I feel safe, and I don't know if you understand what is for me to feel safe, that I can walk around the street without fear. And yesterday I traveled with my sons near the old city, and we buy pizza, and the man in the pizza shop asked us where we came from. So we said Israel, and he was so nice. He started to ask us questions, and he did not have any judgment or something. Just, I don't know. I felt like he understand me. Maybe it's, I don't know, something that connect between the two countries. But here I feel very, very safe, and I think for me it's the most important thing right now. Thank you.
thank you, Nama.
I think it's easy to say for us that our current reality at home is hell, and thanks to Hapoel and thanks to Ofer and I, we were able to come here in the first place. But we understood from him yesterday that it was a gesture from one of the former players here in Belgrade who offered the arena here. So thanks for that. But ever since we landed here, I think less than 48 hours ago, all I felt was welcomed. All the service providers were super nice. I don't know how much you know about this, but sometimes for us Israelis, it's tough saying when somebody asks you out of your country where you're from. Sometimes we're not sure if we can or should say we're from Israel because you're not sure what the reaction would be like. Sometimes we don't wear Hebrew on our shirts, so people don't recognize where we're from, so we are not attacked. I didn't feel that way over here. I walked proudly with my club symbol in Hebrew. Anybody who asked where I'm from said proudly we're from Israel. People were super genuine and kind and welcoming.
Thank you, Afir.
I don't have a lot to add to what they said. The Israel Minister of Affairs always said to Israelis, especially now, don't be Israeli outside. And it's so not necessary. We feel I can repeat, safe. We
Yes.
feel safe, and we can be ourselves and our community together here, and all the city. It's only 48 hours, but I'm sure if it will be more like a week and 2 weeks, we will feel the
Okay,
same.
but so that means you will come the next time also, yes?
Invite us again, we'll be here.
Okay,
I want to go to the Belgrade Derby one day. So.
okay.
Yeah,
We missed it
we
yesterday.
will invite you.
Yeah. We're not good. In the same
Yeah,
time, we're
I have one friend who is Jewish, and we were sitting in the restaurant like 2 weeks ago, and he was here with his family, his wife, and his little kids, and they were all running around, and his wife was whispering something to his ear, and he said, please speak Hebrew freely here. We are in Belgrade. This is a friendly country. These are friendly people. So that really meant a lot to me. So I want you to feel here like you are at home. And we have many same feelings that we can share from our history. And I really hope that we will also have the very strong mutual future for our two people.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts when you are thinking about the future? What do you think regarding this conflict can bring some, let's say, sense of peace to your community? What are your thoughts about the upcoming days?
This is a very hard question. I have to say that me and my family and my friends were very peaceful people, and we are farmers, and we always search for peace, also with the Palestinians. And I can't think about the future. Like this time, like when what's happening now, is too much for me to handle, and I don't know. I don't have a good thought. I can't say nothing. It's very hard for me to say it because all my life I knew that one day everything will be okay, and now I can't see it anymore. I don't think so. I don't have any solution, and the kids, my kids, they asking me, and I say, I don't know. I just don't know.
So you are not back in your kibbutz, and you don't know when you will be back, yeah?
No, we can't. It's a war zone, and always, every day there are so many rockets out there, and there is houses who burned, and even only to watch our last life, it's so hard. We had like a whole world that was belonged to us. We built a house. We had everything, and everything was destroyed that day. And I don't know if in the future something can be the same like we had before. And the house is not only the house, it's the friends, and the friends are died. And I don't know about the future now. I need to think about now.
Ofir?
So every year in Israel, we have a sentence that we say on our National Memorial Day to remember those who fought for the country. And in Hebrew, the sentence is "B'motam tzivu lanu chaim." In English, it would mean, in their death, they commanded us life. And I think in my brother Yaron's story, we called him Noni, by the way, in Noni's story, that really comes to life, that phrase, because he died while physically protecting civilians in Israel. And I think if I would ask him what I should do now, obviously I can't, he would say, you need to live a good life. And that's what I told people from the kibbutz who came to us to thank us for what my brother did. And that's what I told the female soldiers who came to thank us for their life. I said, you have to live a happy life, have children, raise a family, be good. I'm not blind. I know things will never be the same for our family, our friends. For me, I lost my best friend in this world, but there just is no other choice. I think the entire Jewish history is this. They came to destroy us. We overcame it, and we win. That's what we do. I think in this case, I'll know that we won, that we're victorious once my 14-year-old cousin, who is currently living with us, goes back to school. And not only does she go back to school, she feels safe. She's in her kibbutz, in her community. They are not concerned about tunnels being dug underneath them, or the fear of terrorists crossing the border and then doing whatever they can, whatever they did. That's when I'll know we're past that point. We're looking forward.
Thank you, Ophir.
It's a very complicated question. It was a very complicated question 3 months ago. Now, meanwhile, we have a war now. And during the war, you have to stay strong for these days, and for the community were destroyed, and to build up again. We have to live. We have to live somehow. I don't know how. Now everything is broken. It's like 1,000 of small pieces that we have to build back. But we have to think about the future. It's not my job. I hope the people whose job is the job will do it. Not so optimistic about it.
We must be optimistic. We must be optimistic. Thank you very much, dear friends. For the end, Nama, can you please tell us what is the meaning of the letters that you have on your T-shirt?
This is a T-shirt that called to bring back all the hostage home now. They don't have any more time. Each day that passed, each day they suffering there, they can die, and we want them back home now. And I think all the world need to understand they need to go back home. There is women and old people and soldiers and fathers and mothers that are still hostage, and children's babies that are still hostage in the tunnels of Hamas, and we want them back home now. So this is the teacher.
Nama, thank you very much. Ophir and Moran, thank you for sharing
you.
your experiences and thoughts in this very hard moment for you and your families.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank you very
speaking
much.
for Ipese. Thank you.
Thank you.